side, gets a block down the sideline, end zone, touchdown!
Colorado upsets 13th-ranked Penn State.
Center left foot shot off the post. Taking on the line, goal for the Buffaloes.
Seven blitz coming, Spade in trouble, the ball's loose. Scooped up by Colorado and a big man running all the way in. Second ball between the hashes. He takes a step, hands off. Evans, big hole up the middle. He's going to split two defenders. Powers to the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown, Colorado!
Well, that was awful impressive for homecoming 2016. The Colorado Buffaloes improved to 5-2 in the season, 3-1 in Pac-12 conference play as they win 40-16 over Arizona State. Aaron Bowler, Gary Barnett, Mark Johnson. Coach, that was awful impressive in many respects.
Many respects, Mark. Almost, other than a few special teams this year, almost a total complete effort. We look at all the offensive numbers, but I think the defensive numbers were imposing.
Yeah.
And a week ago, we walked away and had one tackle for a loss against USC. This week we had 8. Buffs had 5 sacks. Combine that with the number of 3-and-outs that were in that game. There were 5 3-and-outs. Tremendous effort. And no matter what Arizona State tried to do, they were thwarted by the defense and therefore turned it over so that the offense could do something with it, and they did it. And offensively, what a show by Phillip Lindsay.
The Colorado Buffaloes, by the way, surrendered only 199 yards of total offense, 50 yards rushing. Certainly, I thought Jim Leavitt really cranked up some different blitzes and stunts out there in this ballgame, and that really seemed to throw the Sun Devils off.
Well, it did, and helped that Manny Wilkins was hobbled a little bit, the quarterback for Arizona State, and wasn't as mobile as he normally is. But they had a blitz that they couldn't block, and it was just one right after the other. And Addison Gillam had to have some fun tonight going after that quarterback because he came free so many times. But Manny Wilkins took a lot of shots, but we had great coverage in the secondary. We never had a receiver. Buffs never had a receiver running open that couldn't be contested. Just a total team victory, I think.
That defensive front, Josh Tupou, Jordan Carroll, Samson Kafavala, you got to start talking about them to be as good as maybe any line in the Pac-12.
I'll tell you what, they are impressive. I talked to 2 pro scouts before the game, and I'll tell you, they were raving about those 3 guys. So, and they've been steady, they've been healthy, they played the entire SC game the week before. This week, they just ran. They shuffled down the line of scrimmage. There was no holes, nowhere to run. They had great gap discipline. They really was impressive. I think the whole front 7, and then you throw in the way the corners and safeties played, it was tremendous.
You know, Coach mentioned just a moment ago, Phillip Lindsay, 219 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns, 26 carries. First Colorado Buffalo, by the way, over 200 yards rushing since Chris Brown, this guy was coaching back in 2002.
Pretty good player.
Yeah, he was pretty good, too. That was at Missouri. Phillip was impressive, but, boy, he got a lot of help up front with that offensive line.
Well, he did. Those guys did a great – they had a good scheme for this game, and they handled the blitz for the most part. They had some times later in the fourth quarter where the blitz got to them in the run game, but not in the pass game. They did a good job of preparing. The coaches did preparing their kids, those players, for that game, and the offensive line handled it perfectly, I think, for the most part.
You know, that offensive line, how good were they? Phillip Lindsay, when you talk to Phillip, he'll say I'm nothing without them. In fact, he demanded they come up to the postgame press conference with him. So I'm sure their offensive linemen, they didn't say a whole lot, but they were sitting there anyway as they protected Phillip.
That's not fair.
Well, that's just the way they are generally. Hey, how about Cephalou? First start since Michigan. Got knocked out late in that one. Gets the first start here today. I thought he was masterful orchestrating the whole game plan.
He was the perfect guy for this game because everybody knew that Arizona State's going to bring a lot of pressure, and their run defense has been tremendous, and that means they put a lot of pressure on you. So you had to find open receivers, and you had to manage the game that way. And he's seen so much of that stuff that he was the perfect guy to run it. And really what Arizona State did was back off and say, I don't think you can run the ball. So you know what? We ran the ball. And it was, the coaches did a good job of adjusting. When they did bring pressure, he had the ball right where it was going to be, right where it needed to be. And then he improvised tremendously, Mark. And that one drive, he was 3 of the 4 plays himself for the touchdown. So just the perfect guy, and he's such a competitor. And boy, I'd want him on my team.
He did not have a touchdown pass, but he didn't have an interception either. He has not thrown a pick yet in 4 games this season. Awful impressive. Now with this, the Buffs here, they sit at 3-1 in conference play. They have themselves in a very nice position going down the stretch of the season. No, they're on their way to Stanford next week.
You know, every team that they're going to play is a team that they can beat or get beaten by. So if you bring your A game, there's a good chance you're going to win the football game. And they need to go on the road and have a game like Stanford and go in and find a way to win that game. And these kids will prepare for it. When you play like you just did tonight, and you're in this situation, you haven't been in it for a long time, you don't want to lose that feeling. So they're going to prepare really well, and they're going to listen to everything that the coaches have to say, because they just experienced almost a perfectly played game from a scheme standpoint. Both coordinators, all 3 coordinators, had Arizona State's numbers.
Yeah, they were pretty good. By the way, Stanford did get a win in South Bend over Notre Dame out of conference, so they'll entertain the Buffaloes next week. Awful impressive, 40-16. We mentioned Phillip Lindsay, 26 carries, 219 yards rushing. He had 3 touchdowns. We're going to talk to him next as we wrap things up here with Coach Gary Barnett. We'll talk to you after a quick break here on the Stampede.
Ball effectively. He'll get a chance here. Off on upside. He's got a big hole at the 35 and the 40. It's a foot race. He cuts to his right. 35. Chase from behind. 25. Breaks the tackle. 10. 5. Touchdown. Touchdown, Colorado. 75 yards goes Phillip Lindsay. And the Buffs extend their lead. 29-10.
That is the way you start a second half of ball game. A 75-yard run on his way to 219 yards. Phillip Lindsay out of Denver South High School joining us. Boy, that had to be fun for you. 219 yards rushing.
Yeah, I mean, I really didn't, wasn't really thinking about that. I was just thinking about winning the football game. Offensive line played great and made big holes, and we were able to gash them.
You know, that offensive line was opening some big holes, as you mentioned for you. I mean, those fellows, I thought, played maybe their best game of the year against Arizona State.
Definitely. They played physically, they played smart, and they got to the second level. And if for any running back, if your offensive line gets to that second level and you can get untouched, the rest is for you to do. The rest is for you to handle.
Now, I know Phillip's hard. Now, you're always encouraging those offensive linemen. That I know.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, is it true that after the game, you demanded that the O-line come up to you at the post-game press conference?
Definitely. I wasn't going to go anywhere without them. You know what I mean? They're the reason to our success.
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to pass the ball. Stephon wouldn't have the time he had. You know, we wouldn't be able to run the ball. Kyle Evans wouldn't be able to run like he did. So them linemen, them big boys, them hogs up front, they get all the credit. 100% of it.
Yeah, like you talk about though, when you get that hole, then you get to the second level. Now it's on you, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Once you get to the second level, it's about what Coach Hagan has taught us, and Coach Hagan's done a phenomenal job of getting us ready. In every game, we go back and we watch film, and we see the work in progress of what we do on the practice field, and it goes into the games when we're making the moves, and it's the little things that end up making the big things happen.
You talk about the little things. Jaron Hagan becomes the running backs coach this year. What are the little things do you think he brings to that position that's helped you guys?
Coach Hagan's a great coach. I mean, he lets us play football. He's relaxed. He gives us, in practice, he's hard on us. He critiques us every little thing. But when we get in the game, he lets us play. But he, all the drills we do, all the things, that everybody thinks is dumb, ends up working at in the game. For example,
Sure.
We were playing against Michigan, and I came down the sideline, and I didn't square up enough, and I wasn't able to tightrope the thing. Well, we worked. The next week we practiced that the whole practice. And then we played Oregon. The same thing happened, but I was able to tightrope down the sideline and get square and continue to rumble down the field.
Phillip, where does the passion come from? We talk all the time. We've joked about the name of the Tasmanian Devil, but you've got passion for this program, for this team, for the way that you compete. Where does that come from?
It starts with family and stuff, and for my family, that's just how we are. For me, I don't take no as an answer when it comes to something that I really want, and I really want success for this program, success for my state, and I love my state to death, and I love my family to death, and I want to continue to make them proud.
Yeah, we've talked to so many players over the years who are local kids who end up coming to see you and to become part of something great, and I know that was a real motivation for you coming here. You had options, but you wanted to stay here and resurrect the Buffaloes.
Definitely, I had options, but I wanted to be here. I wanted to be home. I wanted to be close to my mother, and I wanted to rebuild a program that is great. You know what I mean? And we need to become that great great program again that we have in the past.
Now I hear you guys sit at 5-2. You're 3-1 in Pac-12 play. Boy, all of your goals are still in front of you. I mean, you got an opportunity to get to the Pac-12 championship game, to get back to a bowl game, all these kind of things. That's very motivating, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's very motivating. But, you know, it's one game at a time, one snap and clear. So we just need to go at it full speed. You know, today was it was a solid practice. And tomorrow we just got to focus on tomorrow. And if we focus on tomorrow, we stay together as a team, as brothers, then we should be fine. Nobody can break a brotherhood up as long as we stay together.
Is part of the success of what we're seeing with this program this season about the accountability you guys have in holding each other accountable?
Oh, definitely. I mean, you have a lot of seniors, a lot of people that have been through so much together. We came in, all of us came together, you know, from freshmen, and we've stuck together. We hung in there with each other, even through the bad times. And now we're seeing a little success. Now we got to just keep everybody focused, and it's mainly making sure you keep the younger kids, because you need them. You know, just go watch on film today. Three true freshmen were on special teams that made plays for us, big plays, that helped change the game, and you would never think that until you go back and you see it on film. So you just everybody has to stay focused. As older men, we got to keep everybody focused.
Give us a quick comment about the Stanford game this weekend. Big road game for the Buffaloes.
Definitely. Stanford's a tough team. They're disciplined, they're strong, they're fast, they're physical. We just need to go out there and we need to play Colorado football though. And we're big, we're strong, fast, and physical too. We just got to stay disciplined. Stanford's a disciplined team, and they're gonna stay disciplined.
First Buffalo to rush for over 200 yards since Chris Brown at Missouri back in 2002. It was a monster game and a nice win for the Buffs. Phillip Lindsay, good luck this weekend.
Thank you. Go Buffs. I love you, Mom.
Phillip Lindsay from Denver South High School. He and the Buffs are at Stanford. We're going to continue talking football. We got the linebacker, Addison Gillam, joining us next year in the Stampede when we return.
Hi, this is BG Brooks with CUBuffs.com. Was Saturday night at Folsom Field fun? Not so much if you were an Arizona State fan, coach, or player, but if you were a CU fan, it was a great time. With a couple of exceptions, this season has been great fun. The exceptions being CU losses to Michigan and USC. But this has been an enjoyable first month and a half of the 2016 season, and there's no reason for the fun to end. This is a very good CU football team, as ASU found out in Saturday night's 40-16 dismantling by the Buffs. Against ASU, CU launched the second half of its season with the same mantra it has opened with in September. Go 1-1 each week. Don't dwell on losses. Don't project wins. That means this week's focus is on Stanford, next Saturday's opponents in Palo Alto. But for the sake of the big picture, somebody has to look ahead, and that task falls to us. The Cardinal is one of two Pac-12 North opponents remaining on the schedule. Washington State is the other, and the trip to Palo Alto is only one of two road games in the final 5 games. That means 3 of CU's final 5 games will be in Folsom, with the November schedule featuring 3 of 4 games at home, including the final 2. Against Washington State on November 19th and Utah on November 26th. Saying this is a favorable final month is a little like saying the Flatirons are picturesque. The Buffs are 3-1 in Pac-12 play and tied with Utah atop the South Division. But much will happen between now and the Utes' post-Thanksgiving visit to Boulder. This week's Stanford trip is huge because the Buffs finally match up well with the Cardinal. Stanford and Oregon are no longer the twin kingpins in the North Division. But of more importance, the Buffs have emerged in the South. They're a win away from bowl eligibility, and they're relevant again. Like last Saturday night in Folsom, November should be a fun month.
Shotgun snap taken by Wilkins. Here comes pressure off the edge by Wiesier. Rolling to his left. Wilkins took a shot by Gillam, and a pass is incomplete. Oh, did he take a shot?
Well, Addison Gillam, he was flying around like a missile against the Arizona State Sun Devils last week. Welcome back to the Stampede. He's got the hair flowing and a windy day here in Boulder, Colorado. That was quite a ball game for you guys the other night defensively. And for you, it was great to see you out there playing the way you were. Kind of reckless abandon. We love watching you play that way, but it's been a while.
Yeah. Finally felt good to get out there and start playing like I used to.
How you feeling?
I feel great. A little sore after the game, of course, just because I mean, haven't played that much in a while. Haven't ran around that much in a while. But, yeah, a little bit sore. Feeling really good, though. Real happy.
How about the last couple of years, though? I mean, you came out of the blocks your freshman campaign, and then it seems like it's just been one case of bad luck and an injury after another.
Yeah.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it just feels great this year. I don't know.
Yeah. How about the way this defense is playing? I mean, the other night, 199 yards you guys surrendered in that ball game. You give up under 200 yards to a BCS-level school. I mean, that's a heck of a defensive performance by a team.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we were all excited. We were just excited to come out there and play a full 4 quarters, you know. That week before, we didn't really come out, play the full game, and to come out there and play the whole game for the homecoming was awesome.
That game plan, though, the other night, Jim Lovett was really bringing some interesting blitzes, and you were one of the keys in that, weren't you?
Yeah, definitely. We were bringing a lot more. Just knowing he got hurt last week, he was a little less mobile, so we were ready to start attacking him.
Is it fun going into a game like that when you know you're going to have potentially those opportunities?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't really realize it until probably third quarter. We started actually really running a lot of blitzes and stuff, and then it started really working, and we were starting to get through and find holes and everything, and that's when it got fun.
What's it like playing for Jim Lovett? I mean, he's defensive coordinator. He's also the linebacker coach as well. What's it like playing for him?
It's awesome. I love it. He's a great guy. He brings crazy amount of passion to it, and it just rubs off on everybody. And the way he teaches all the linebackers and everything, and kind of more concept stuff. I like it a lot.
You know, he's kind of a hands-on guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Does he ever get out there and
get
with you guys?
He hasn't quite hit yet, but he's trying. Yeah, he'll get out there and run routes and stuff. But yeah,
this team is playing some pretty good football right now. I mean, here you sit at 5-2. You're 3-1 in the Pac-12. I know you've been part of this building process. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
But it's got to be rewarding to be here now and kind of, taking advantage of the fruits of your labor, if you will.
Yeah, definitely. I was just talking to somebody about it. It's crazy being here for 4 years and finally getting to actually experience the turnaround and everything, and not being on the other end of big losses and stuff. It's awesome.
Here we're talking about how good this defense is. This offense has been phenomenal as well this season.
Yeah.
I mean, they always, Coach Mack, I know, talks about iron sharpening iron. I bet they make you guys a lot better, don't they?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, something we started doing this year is playing more against our starters and having our ones go against our ones and stuff. And I think that, it looks like it's helped, and just keeping the game speed and getting used to it over the week, I think it helps a lot.
Here you are, you're 5-2 in the season, as I mentioned. I mean, that bowl game, that 6th win, becoming bowl eligible, is sitting right out in front of you. Do you dare even think about that?
It's on everybody's head. It's on everybody's mind, but I think everybody's pretty focused. This is more focused than I've seen this team in all the years I've been here, and I think we're more focused on getting to the Pac-12 championship than anything.
Sure, yeah. Well, that's certainly, the Buffs are in the driver's seat right now, so it's certainly a possibility. Does momentum and success build momentum and success? I mean, the more you guys play, the more you have success, the more you win ball games. Does it kind of feed upon itself?
Yeah, I think so, definitely. Coach Mack always talks about going in with confidence and going into the games with confidence, and I think each week that we're playing well and winning and stuff, I think it builds our confidence a lot, and just going into that next week, it'll help.
Give us a quick thought about this game this weekend. You had to go to Palo Alto, play against a very good Stanford team.
Yeah, it'll be a good game. It's going to be physical. We always, they're a physical team. They got a good offense, good running back, and Christian McCaffrey. They got a good line, always real physical. So we're going to have to go out there and play another physical game.
Well, when he makes the plays, and I'm doing the broadcast, I don't even have to think about what the number is, because I look out and see the hair flowing, and I know it's this guy here, number 44, Addison Gillam. Continue having great success this season.
Thank you.
All right, Addison Gillam joining us here on the Stampede. When we come back, we're going to talk with one of the members of the top 25 CU soccer team, Taylor Kornieck, coming up next here on the Stampede. Busy weekend for the Buffs, and you can follow all of it by checking out the media schedule at cubuffs.com. Soccer kicks off the weekend on the road at Stanford Thursday night. That match is at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, and it's live on Pac-12 networks. Volleyball is at home Friday against the Oregon State Beavers. First serve at 6 p.m. and is also live on the Pac-12 network. Football travels to Stanford on Saturday to take on the Cardinal at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, live on the network and the Colorado Football Network. And finally on Saturday, volleyball takes on Oregon at the Coors Event Center at 7 p.m. That match will be streamed live on cubuffs.com. As always, you can check out cubuffs.com for all upcoming games and where you can watch them.
There's the break for Kornieck. And there it is! In the 89th minute! Are you kidding? turnover, and Kornieck with the goal, her 6th of the year.
Welcome back to the Stampede. You know, when you look at Colorado athletics right now, everybody is having success. It really is a really good time to be a Buff, including Taylor Kornieck here and the CU soccer team. 6-0. You guys have been fantastic so far this season. It's got to be a lot of fun playing.
Oh, yeah, it's a really good time.
Yeah? Tell me about this team a little bit, though. I mean, you guys are playing well, obviously, on the field. I know when we've talked with a number of players from the team, everyone talks about how close this team is.
Yeah, we're extremely close. Like, coming in as a freshman, I didn't think, like, I feel like everybody had their own little groups, but it was the complete opposite. Everybody's really welcoming, and it was just great coming in, playing, and just connecting with all the players really quick.
Now, you're from Henderson, Nevada. It's a Las Vegas area. How did you come from Las Vegas and become a Colorado Buffalo here in Boulder?
Well, I don't like the heat at all. So
Did you talk to Mom and Dad about that?
I did.
Yeah, all right.
I was born in Michigan, so I had a little taste of the snow.
Okay.
That's a lot worse than here, though.
Sure.
But Colorado just seemed really perfect, and the campus is beautiful, and everything just kind of fit me really well.
Yeah, there's never a bad or a reason not to be in Boulder, Colorado. That's what I always say. Hey, you played for the U.S. 1800 national team this past offseason. That got you ready for the college level of play. Talk about your international experience.
Well, I started off playing at the Olympic Training Center in Chula Vista, and little bit later, we ended up going to Spain, and we played against Denmark, Norway, and then England. We tied one and beat the other two, and then just recently I went to England to start. When I first came here, I only stayed here for about a week, and then I ended up going to England for a week, and it just got me really ready. All the players around me are just really, really good, and just really got me ready for the college experience. And playing in Las Vegas, it's like it's a little bit on the other, like.
Little lower level competition?
Lower level, yeah.
Okay, all right.
And just so that helped me a lot coming here.
I'd have to imagine playing on the international level. I mean, that in terms of the level of competition, you talk about low level, that's a very high level of competition.
Yeah, it's really high, yeah.
And do I understand you were the captain of this team as
well? I was, yeah.
A little leadership as a freshman coming in. We like that. The way this team is played, I mentioned 6-0, ranked now. What does that mean to be ranked for this team? First of all, by the way, I thought it took way too long for you guys to get in the rankings. But now that you're there at number 23, what does that mean for this program?
I mean, it's really important, but we can't stop there. Like, we have Stanford and Cal this weekend, so just being ranked, it's a really big opportunity for us, and the fact that we are ranked, it tells all the other teams that we are here to play, and we don't want to be walked on, and it's a really big confidence booster for us.
Buffs, by the way, ranked for the first time since 2009. 10 goals for this young lady this season.
Yeah.
You're an offensive player.
I am, attacking mid.
What is the key to being an offensive player, a good offensive player, in a low-scoring sport?
I mean, it's pretty. You just gotta know your teammates around you. Basically, you gotta play really well together, and usually you gotta anticipate a lot. And when you connect with the other players around you, like, you realize where they're gonna play, and then you just get on the end of it. And you gotta be really composed in the box and just find the back of the net.
What would you say? A lot of times in the United States here, as big as soccer is around the world, maybe it's not as appreciated as much here in the States.
Yeah.
What is attractive about soccer to you?
I mean, just the competitive level. I mean, I've been competitive anything I do, really, and it's just, I don't know, I really clicked with sport. So my height is really, like, I mean, not normal to see as
a soccer player.
Yeah.
You know, volleyball, basketball.
Yeah, I tried those two sports, and I didn't really wasn't my best.
Well, she's awful good at soccer, undoubtedly, and right now one of the leaders for the Colorado Buffaloes, the 23rd ranked team in the country. This past weekend, of course, was homecoming, and it was a reunion for the soccer program as well.
Well, I haven't been back to Boulder in far too long, so I'm impressed at how much things have changed and stayed the same. So the new facilities are incredible, this field is amazing, the support for the team is unbelievable, but at the same time, the things that matter are still the same, the school pride, the support, and just the beauty of Boulder, obviously.
Being back here this weekend is just completely brings back a lot of memories, certainly, and things are quite a bit different than they were many years ago, but it's so awesome to see the program be as successful as it is today, and know that I was a part of it, so many years ago.
Those were some of the best 4 years of my life, and just the work ethic that it requires and the friendships with the teammates, there's nothing like it. So it was such an incredible experience, and it's so fun to be back here with all my former teammates and just celebrating the success of CU soccer.
Great to see the alums from the soccer program back for that homecoming weekend. I'm wondering, is it advantageous to kind of meet alums like that, know the history of your program?
Yeah, definitely. It's good to learn from their past experiences.
You know, we've talked about how great this season has been. How about freshman goaltender Jalen Tompkins? She got like 6 or 7 shutouts this season.
Yeah, she's amazing. It's really, I feel very confident with her in the back of the net.
As good as you are offensively, can you get one by her?
I mean, it's really tough. I'm going to be honest with you. In practice, she's insane.
Look at that. She's a freshman and wouldn't even get into trash talking with one of her own teammates.
No.
Congratulations. Hey, I mentioned you're 6-0. You got a big stretch coming up here. Some very good programs in the California schools.
Yeah.
Big challenge for the Buffaloes.
It's really big. We just got to take it one game at a time.
Yeah. And who's maybe the toughest competition in this conference, do you think?
I would say it's between Stanford and USC.
Okay.
Those are really top. Like USC ended up being Stanford 3-0, so.
All right, Taylor, keep it up. Thanks, Taylor. And coming up this weekend, of course, the Colorado Buffaloes. Speaking of California, the football team is in Palo Alto to take on the Stanford Cardinal. It's a 1 o'clock Mountain Time game. We're going to hit the air on the network, the Buffalo Stampede, at 11 o'clock. Here's truly, along with Gary Barnett and Bobby Pesavento. We'll talk to you next time here in the Stampede.